Good day, everyone. You're welcome to Bontutor channel. Today, we'll be talking about theorems of triangle. And the first theorem we'll be talking about today is the most popularly known as sum of angles. Sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degree. This is telling you that if you have a triangle A, B, C, and the angle here is x, y, z. You can actually say angle ABC plus angle ACB plus angle BAC is equals to 180 degree, which means you have your ABC to be y plus your ACB to be z and your BAC to be x equals to 180 degree. That is, if you are to add all the angles you have in the triangle all together, you are going to have 180 degree. And let me bring some example to illustrate these theorems. So here is an example. I would like us to use the theorems that say sum of angle in a triangle equals to 180 degrees to solve. Which means we are looking for our A, we are looking for our B, and we are looking for our C. Which means we are looking for this angle here, the angle here, and also the angle here. And how do we go about that? The first thing you will notice is this shape gives you two triangles. It gives you two triangles whereby the triangle here and the triangle here combine together to give you the shape. And if you check this first triangle here, you have two angles here and one unknown angle there which you did not know, which is the angle B, which means it will be easier for us to firstly find the angle B. That is, you can say 50 degree plus 45 degree plus b equals to 180 degree. That is sum of angles in a triangle. That is sum of angles in a triangle. That will give you your b. And if you add this thing together, you have 95 plus b to be equals to 180 degree, and your b equals to 180 minus 95, and that should give you 85 degree. So since now that you now have your b, you will notice, if you recall in the theorems that we talked about earlier, when two straight line crosses each other, the angle b here is equals to my angle c. The angle b is equals to angle c. Why? We said they are vertically opposite angles. And we said vertically opposite angles are equal, which means whatever the value of my b will also be equals to the value of my c, which means your b is equals to 85 degree, which equals to your c. Now you can see that since your c is 85, now you can easily know the value of your a by also following the theorem sum of angles in a triangle to be 180, which means your a plus c plus 20 degree equals to 180 degree. That is sum of angles in a triangle. And recall that our c is 85, therefore you have your a plus 85 degree plus 20 degree equals to 180 degree. And 85 plus 20 gives you 105. You have a plus 105 degree to be equals to 180 degree. Your a equals 180 degree minus 105 degree, and your a equals 75 degree. And that should give you the final answer. You have your a to be 75 degree, you have your b to be 85 degree, and you have your c to be also 85 degree. And if you want to test if your answers are correct, you can just add everything you have here. It should give you 180, which means your 50 plus 45 plus 85 should give you 180, And also your 75 plus 85 plus 20 also should give you 180, and you have the answer to your question. Let's have one more example on this before we move to the next theorem. This is also another example I like us to use the theorem of sum of angle in a triangle to solve. And if you notice, what we are looking for is our angle A, B, and C. And C, just like the first one that we did. We are looking for these three angles. That's what we're looking for. And if you check this triangle, you can notice that there are some extended line outward. That is, there are some lines that are extended outward. And with that, we need them also to find the angles that we have inside. So if you want to do that, you can easily get your A and C from the exterior angles being given to you. Why? Because if you notice this line, focusing on this aspect alone, looking for your A, you notice that this and this are the only angles on the straight line, focusing on this point X. That is, on this point X, you can easily say 115 plus A equals to 180 degree. Why? It is called to be angles on a straight line. Angles on a straight line. That is, 115 plus A will be equals to 180. That's angle on a straight line, because a straight line has all its angles to be 180 degree. Then we can have our A to be 180 minus 115. We can have our A to be 180 minus 115, and therefore your A is going to be 65 degree, which means the angle you have here will be 65 degree. We can also follow this procedure also to find our C, and therefore we can say our C plus 158 degree also equals to 180 degree. That's also an angle on a straight line, because focusing on this point Y, you will notice that it is only this C and 158 degree that are on the straight line, which means your C plus 158 also should give you 180. And you can end up having C equals to 180 minus 158, and that should give you what? Yes, that should give you 22 degree. Your C will give you 22 degree, while your A gives you 65 degree. If your C gives you 22 and your A gives you 65, you can easily find your B by saying what? Yes, A A plus B plus C equals to 180 degree, and that is called angle on sum of angles in a triangle, because those are the three angles you have inside that triangle. So you adding your A plus your B plus your C, everything should gives you 180. And recall that our A is 65 degree and our B still remains unknown, while our C is 22 degree, and everything should give you 180 degree. So if you have your 65 plus 22, you should have 87 plus B equals to 180 degree. That is 87 degree plus B equals to 180 degree. And you have your B to be equals to 180 minus 87 degree. And your B should be 90. Your B should be 93 degree. And for you to test if your answers are correct, you can just add your A plus B plus C, and your answer should be 180. That is, your 90 plus 22 plus 65, and everything should gives you 180. Let's try it. Our 93 plus 22 gives us 115, and 115 plus 65 gives you 180 degree. That is your A plus B plus C. This is just to prove that our answer is correct. And let's move to the second theorem we have under this triangle. The second theorem we have today says the exterior the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of its two opposite interior angle is equals to the sum of its two opposite interiors angle. And let me use a diagram to explain that to you. Let's say you have a triangle PQR, and this line extend here is your S, and this triangle has angles to be A, B, and C. Let's say there is one exterior angle here called X. What this theorem is trying to let you understand is that this exterior angle here, that is your X here, is equals to the sum of the two opposite interior angles, that is equals to A plus B, equals to A plus B. So for you to get your X, you have to know the value of your A and your B if you do not want to make use of your C. And I would like to use one of the examples I brought for us earlier to illustrate this, because we've gotten the answer, and I would like us to use this theorem also to see if we can get one of them. So this has the answer from the previous solution for this example, and I would like us to just try and use the theorem that says one exterior angle is equals to the sum of two opposite interior angle, and see how easy we can apply that to get our answer to this, instead of us using all the long process. But before we can do that, we still have to find one of the interior angle first, and we can actually make use of either our A or our C to do that. And for us to do that, recall that our A plus 115 equals to 180, which is angle on a straight line, as explained in the previous example. Because at point X there, these are the only two angles that are on the straight line. And we end up having our A to be equals to 180 minus 115 degree, and which gives us 65 degree. Since we know our A is 65 degree, we can use this exterior angle here to find our B by saying our A plus B equals to 158 degree, and that's because the exterior angle is equals to the sum of two opposite interior angle. And recall that our A is 65. We just say 65 plus B equals to 158 degree, and therefore your B equals to 158 degree minus 65 degree. Therefore your B is equals to what? Yes, 93 degree. Your B is equals to 93 degree. And you can, since you have your B now, you can also use that theorem again to find your C. Reason being that your B plus C is equals to 115 degree, because B and C are the two opposite interior angle to the exterior angle here, and the sum of the two must give you 115. Recall that your B is 93 degree plus your C, and you have 115 degree. So you can end up having your C equals to 115 degree minus 93 degree, and your C equals to what? Yes, 22 degree. So you can see that if you use this theorem also, you still have the same answer, which means the first theorem we used is correct, the second theorem we used is still correct. And that's one thing I like about sum of triangles and even theorems of triangles and angles. No matter the theorems you apply, as long as you apply them correctly and in the right way, you will surely have the same answer, and whatever theorems you apply are correct. So let's bring one more example for us on this theorem before we move on. This is also another example. I like us to use the theorems of exterior angle to solve. That says exterior angle equals to the sum of two opposite interior angles. And I would like you to notice one thing is in this diagram. This side is equal to this side. If you can recall, during our junior mathematics, there is also a theorem for what we call an isosceles triangle, because this is an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a kind of triangle that has two of its sides to be equal, and it means these sides are equal to this side. And the theorem that backs that up says the angle that face the two equal sides, that is the angles that face the two equal sides, which means the two angles that face the two equal sides are also equal. That means this angle A here that is facing this side is equal to this angle C that is also facing this side. So we say our A is equals to C. That's the theorem of an isosceles triangle. The two angles that opposite the two equal sides are also equal. If your A is equals to C, it means they are the same thing, right? Yes, that means you can actually represent them. Let's represent them with X. Let's call them X. And for us to follow the theorem that says one exterior angle is equals to the sum of two or opposite interior angles, it means you have your X. Sorry, let me firstly write it out so we won't get it confused. You have your A plus your C to be equals to 126 degree. That is the two interior angles being equals to the exterior angle, the sum of two interior angle being equals to the exterior angle. And recall, I said we should call our A and C to be our X. It means you have X plus X to be equals to 126 degree, and therefore you have 2X to be equals to 126 degree, right? Your X equals to 126 divided by 2, and you have that to be what? Yes, 63 degree. You have that to be 63 degree, which means your A is equals to your C, which equals to you 63 degree, because we said they are equals to X. If A is 63 degree and A is 63 degree, we can easily find our B. There are actually two ways you can find your B. The first way, let me use that, which is a straight line. Angle on the straight line, we call it to be 180 degree, and we already have one of it to be 126, because at point R here, B and 126 are the two angles that we have on that straight line, which means our 126 plus B is equals to 180 degree, which is an angle on a straight line. Your B equals to 180 degree minus 126 degree, and your B is equals to what? Yes, 54 degree. 54 degree. You can actually use that, or you can use your A plus B plus your C equals to 180 degree. Yes, sum of angles in a triangle. You have your A plus your B plus your C to be equals to 180 degree. And recall that your A is 63 degree plus your B, and your C also is 63 degree, and everything equals to 180 degree, which means your B plus 126 degree equals to 180 degree. So your B equals to 180 minus 126 degree. Yes, and your B is equals to 54 degree. As simple as that. You can see that application of theorems are fun to play with, because you can actually apply more than one or two theorems to get the same answer for either angles or triangle. And thank you for watching this video from the beginning. These are just the two theorems we talk about today, and by the next video we'll be talking about more theorems in a triangle. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, comment any question or any problem you have under this topic or any other topics under mathematics, and don't forget to share. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.